When we think about environmental protection, we usually picture these incredibly isolated, untouched jungles, right? Places totally cut off from human civilization. We tend to think of fences, strict boundaries, and, well, just keeping people out. But today, we're diving into a stunning new ecosystem discovery in Uttar Pradesh that completely turns that idea on its head. We're exploring a brand new biodiversity conservation site that's been grabbing major headlines lately, and honestly, for very good reason. This is a place where fragile habitats and ancient human history aren't just neighbors. They are deeply, intrinsically tangled together. It's a fascinating look at how we can actually protect our future by embracing the sacred spaces of our past.
Just take a look at the sheer, untouched beauty of Shravastis's Ken Nala. We are talking about a lush, vibrant wetland characterized by these incredibly clean, pristine water channels. It's a highly unique freshwater ecosystem, and it's completely sustained by multiple continuous streams flowing right down from the surrounding forests, agricultural lands, and hills. It's this delicate, perfect balance of water and earth forming a true oasis. And it's exactly this kind of intense ecological purity that environmentalists, researchers, and local governments are frantically racing to protect before it's permanently lost to rapid modernization.
While that urgency to protect this purity recently led to a truly pivotal moment. On June 8, 2026, the Uttar Pradesh government stepped in and officially notified this area as a Biodiversity Heritage Site. And this wasn't just some ceremonial gesture or a nice plaque. It was a highly specific, heavy-duty legal action to strictly enforce environmental conservation while also boosting sustainable ecotourism in the region. By formalizing this status, the state essentially threw a permanent legal shield around this natural treasure to make sure its fragile ecology is fully recognized, mapped, and protected.
Which brings us to a really fascinating question. What actually happens when deeply rooted human traditions and untouched nature crash into each other? Because Ken Nala isn't just some random patch of greenery they picked out of a hat. It sits right in the heart of a region brimming with immense historical and cultural significance. The soil here literally holds thousands of years of human stories. That layered context makes protecting its ecology not just an environmental issue, but a really profound cultural imperative. We aren't just saving a wetland here. We are preserving a living, breathing historical landscape.
To really grasp the precision of this conservation effort, you have to consider the scale. The area falls within the Binga Reserved Forest, which covers a massive 452.88 hectares. But out of that vast, sprawling reserve, exactly 80 hectares of this specific freshwater ecosystem have been officially carved out for this new heritage designation. It's a highly targeted, almost surgical effort. Instead of drawing some impossibly huge boundary that no one can realistically manage, authorities zeroed right in to protect the uncompromised core of this unique habitat, where the biodiversity is at its absolute peak.
And why this highly targeted 80-hectare spot? Well, it's special for one very specific reason: the presence of Barringtonia acutangula, or as the local community simply calls it, injad. This is an incredibly rare freshwater mangrove species, and it basically acts as the lifeblood of the entire area. The presence of the injad plant is exactly what sustains these clean water ecosystems. It filters the flow, it anchors the soil, the whole shebang. Protecting this specific 80-hectare zone guarantees this highly specialized, highly vulnerable plant can actually continue to thrive and support the rest of the region's plant life.
But the significance of this land goes way beyond just its remarkable flora. As the Chief Minister noted in the official notification, this place is deeply, deeply embedded in human heritage. Shravasti is a region believed to have been founded by Lord Ram's son, Love. It's a profoundly sacred, major pilgrimage center for Jainism. And it's heavily tied to Lord Buddha, who famously spent the maximum number of his historical rainy season retreats, known as Chaturmas, right here. Think about that for a second. The ancient figures we read about in history and scripture literally walked beside these exact wetlands. The environment here is the living backdrop of antiquity.
So the crucial question we really have to ask in this explainer is, what exactly does this specific biodiversity heritage site label mean for Ken Nala? Especially when you compare it to, say, a regular national park or a standard wildlife sanctuary. Why use this highly specific legal designation to protect a place with such a rich blend of cultural and natural history?
Well, this local milestone definitely didn't happen overnight. It's the result of a legal framework that's been steadily building for over 2 decades now. It all stems from the foundational Biological Diversity Act that was passed way back in 2002. Just a year later, in 2003, Karnataka successfully notified India's very first heritage site. By 2024, the momentum was undeniable, with the country declaring over 45 of these specialized sites. And now, fast forward to 2026, Shravastis's Ken Nala proudly joins this expanding national list,
representing the absolute latest evolution in how we view conservation.
The approach here is a total paradigm shift. Unlike traditional national parks that lean heavily on strict government regulation and highly exclusionary practices, essentially building walls to keep people out, biodiversity heritage sites are inherently community-focused. This is the crucial insight. You simply cannot successfully protect a historically rich ecosystem by alienating the people who actually live there. Instead, this designation empowers local bodies. It actively utilizes generations of traditional ecological knowledge and promotes sustainable livelihoods. It transforms the locals from potential trespassers into the primary guardians of their own natural heritage.
And protecting these areas through this collaborative, community-led framework creates an incredibly resilient safe haven for the regional wildlife too. Diverse, magnificent species rely heavily on these intact mosaic habitats. From resourceful mammals like the golden jackal to a spectacular array of migratory wetland birds, the ecosystem is just teeming with life. By choosing a community-backed designation rather than an exclusive one, we ensure these animals can continue to thrive right alongside the human history and local agriculture of the region, keeping that natural equilibrium perfectly in check. Ultimately, this community-based framework secures our ecological future on multiple fronts. Yes, it's about aggressively conserving fragile, unique ecosystems, but it's equally about preserving irreplaceable traditional knowledge. It's about promoting sustainable ecotourism that genuinely lifts up the local economy without tearing up the landscape. It builds vital regional climate resilience. And crucially, it strictly stops biopiracy by securing access and benefit-sharing rights directly for the local communities. This ensures that the wealth of the ecosystem actually benefits the people working to protect it.
The June 2026 notification of Ken Nala is just a massive, multifaceted win for both our heritage and our habitat. It proves that the future of environmental protection isn't about separating humans from nature, but bringing them together responsibly. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder as you look around your own community's natural and historical spaces. If protecting our past secures our ecological future, what local ecosystem in your backyard deserves to be the next to be protected? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring the incredible world around you.